What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So it look like Colin Cowherd fired up the WNBA and Christie Sides is back in hot water. We finna unpack it all. Guys, for this one here, we gotta go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. So if you guys haven't heard by now, Caitlin Clark has set another WNBA record in spectacular fashion. She did it against the Dallas Wings last night. Unfortunately, her team did fall short, but Caitlin Clark went off. Caitlin Clark scored or assisted on 65 of the Fever's 93 points with a 70% ratio. As the Fever unfortunately fell short, Caitlin Clark was efficient throughout the duration of this game. With Caitlin Clark's record-breaking performance yesterday, that has now put her in the MVP race of all things. And it's crazy because we always talking about Rookie of the Year, and we all as Caitlin Clark fans know that she should have been in conversation for this MVP race. Well, it looked like sportsbooks have her at a plus 8,500 for the race, and she is in third place. Sabrina Ionescu is plus 6,500, and obviously AJ Wilson is a negative 3,000. A lot of people was picking AJ Wilson to win that award, but as of right now, Caitlin Clark is balling. Now, with all that being said, the WNBA did make a huge announcement in regards to the three-point contest and the roster who will be starting for Team USA and the Nationals. Well, a lot of fans is up in arms over Caitlin Clark not being in the three-point contest. Well, new information has been revealed about that. It's being reported that the WNBA reveals why Caitlin Clark is not in the three-point contest. The WNBA made a big announcement on Wednesday that included all the participants for the three-point contest and skills challenge at All-Star Weekend. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark was not on either list, with her absence from the three-point contest being the most notable one. One of the most talented shooters in the WNBA, Clark is shooting just 32% from the three-point range, which is causing a lot of fans to scratch their heads and wonder why Caitlin Clark wasn't in the challenge. Well, it looked like the WNBA did release a statement letting the world know we asked Caitlin Clark and she politely declined. This is what they put on Twitter earlier today. WNBA confirmed that Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark were invited for the three-point contest and declined participation. Ionescu is taking part in the Olympic camp, which is getting ready for the Paris Games, and we don't know why Caitlin Clark declined, but I will tell you this. Caitlin Clark hasn't had a break from basketball since September of 2023. With all that being said, let's check out what Colin Cowherd had to say on his show earlier this morning. Roll the footage.
Win everything. It's a magic bird thing, back and forth. If Angel Reese wins Rookie of the Year, good for her. I like the back and forth. But I just want to tell you that Caitlin Clark last night had 19 assists in a game to set a league record. She's a rookie on a bad team. She has scored or assisted on 66 points, 71% of the Fever's points. That's the most ever in league history. She's breaking records every week. So part of the silliness of not allowing her on the Olympic team is she was a very quickly improving player, and now you kind of look silly. She's arguably the best playmaker in the league, arguably the second best three-point shooter in the league. I don't know. They seem valuable in Olympic competition, and she's not on the team. But yesterday, they also announced the skills competition for the WNBA All-Star team. And she didn't make that either. She didn't make the three-point shooting contest. So you argued she wasn't good for the Olympics. Your argument, though I don't buy it, but it was your argument, women's basketball, that she would be a distraction. I roll, but okay. So isn't the perfect place to put her in the skills competition, where she's one of the best three-point shooters, and she's a highly skilled player? So now what is it? Pettiness, gatekeeping, insular, dumb? If you're not going to put her in the Olympics, oh, you're 0 for 1. Now you're not putting her in the skills competition. She quadrupled the ratings. Nobody's going to watch that skills competition. They would have, highlighting Clark and other players. Thank God the WNBA didn't go 0 for 3. They did find it in their heart to put her on the WNBA All-Star team, but she'll probably be at the end of the bench and struggle to get minutes, I would imagine. But, I mean, it's almost hard rooting for women's basketball. You're like, it cracks me up how they treat her. If you really think about it, they're trying to get her to pay her dues, but she's the one paying all the fees. She's the reason you're flying private. She's paying for everything, and you want her to pay her dues. It's really ridiculous. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bird and Magic came into the league, and they put them on everything. They tried to highlight them because the NBA was more secure in itself. They understood Bird and Magic could elevate all the players, the league, the revenue, the pie, the pettiness. You got to get her in the skills competition. What are you doing? You should have her on the Olympic team. What are you doing? Last night, he got 19 assists. By the way, you know who was in the dunk contest his rookie year? Michael Jordan. They got Michael Jordan in the dunk contest. He didn't have to pay his dues. Everybody was like, get that kid in the dunk contest. Oh, WNBA. I mean, for years and years, you wanted all this attention. We finally pay it. You have somebody that can absolutely, as a catalyst, get you more attention. And you're now very precious. You're experts. Insular, gatekeeping. You're exhausting.
That was Colin Cowherd speaking on the WNBA decision to not include Caitlin Clark in the three-point contest. But just like we reported on earlier, they finally released a statement, I believe, because he called him out. But whatever the case may be, Caitlin Clark should have time to enjoy her break. I just got to keep it real, guys. This young lady has been playing basketball for quite some time, man. Now, moving on to the last and final story, we know Christie Sides is going to do what Christie Sides do and have everybody looking silly. Now, with all that being said, this is what she had to say to reporters at the end of the game last night. Let's roll the footage.
In the first and second quarters, I mean, that's just, we just have to be better with that. But to me, it's off our turnovers. Just don't give yourself a shot.
What was the message at halftime about the defense? Because you went out on a 17-9 run, I think it was, in the third quarter.
Yeah, I feel like the third quarter was by far our best quarter. We can't have so many of just 1 quarters or 2 quarters. Like you gotta string 3.5, 4 quarters together. We had 93 points. When you score 93 points, like you give yourself a chance to win the game. And then when we go back and watch, you're gonna see so many wide open shots that we missed. And that, that's just, we've just gotta get in the gym and work and make sure that we're able to hit those wide open shots. AB, 28 points in the paint. I mean, we had 63 points in the paint. But we have to get stops. I mean, that bottom line, you've got to get stops. You've got to play defense in this league. They hit 3 big threes late in the game. JC Sheldon had 2. 1 was off us in a red situation. And then she had another one when we didn't do what we were supposed to do on a side pick and roll. And then Odyssey had one that bounced all around and fell in. So they just hit big shots late. We played defense late. They just hit some big shots.
Coach, Caitlin talked about kind of the frustration about dropping 2 that you feel like y'all could have won the Washington game and then won tonight. What are some of the things you'll look at from those 2 games over the Olympic break as you prepare for this playoff push after the break?
Yeah, our starts, just, the Washington game, we didn't show up until the fourth quarter. We showed up in the third quarter today, so we've got to figure out how to fix that piece of putting it together for 4 quarters. I mean, knowing that every team in this league is good any night, and you've got to be able to step up. And again, I mean, we put up 93 points. We were getting what we wanted offensively. We've just got to get it. We just got to be better defensively.
Hey, Coach, if we can rate anything or like Caitlin's game, just seeing her over the time that you've coached her, what are some things that maybe is going underrated about how she plays? I mean, obviously she scores the basketball, she can facilitate, but is there anything that we could know about, like, for us, what's underrated about her game?
What's underrated about her game? I'm going to stick to what's positive about her game, man. I mean, she had 19 assists tonight. That was a WNBA record. I mean, she has the ability and her vision to see things, and we're just getting better and better as we play with her to be on the same page with her. I know she's not hitting the shots that she wants to hit. She's really down on herself about not getting, not making some shots that she would normally hit. But I mean, 19 assists is incredible. That's incredible. I think it was another record for a franchise, most in franchise history. Is that Ryan, in a season?
Most in a season, yeah.
In a season?
2 of them. Yeah.
And then career high for AB tonight. Against two really big players in this league that make it really hard.
Coach, you kind of touched on it there, but just talk about as a coach what it's like on the sideline when you see a player in a zone like Caitlin setting a WNBA record tonight. Like, what does that mean for you in her development, and what does it mean for you personally just to see a feat like that?
Yeah, I feel, I think looking at the big picture, I'm pretty blessed with the people I have on this team, right? Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Melissa Smith. I've got some really young, great talent that's just going to keep getting better. Throw Lexi Hull into there. She's going to keep getting better, third-year player. Katie Lou, I mean, right now she's beating herself up. She had some shots that she normally would make tonight, so she's really, really down herself, but she just keeps getting better. She was out all last year, just needed time to get her legs under. And so now we'll get this break and we'll get some practice time with these guys. And they're just gonna keep doing this. I mean, it's young talent. It's just gonna keep getting better. For me, it's just exciting, the future of the Fever.
Coach, would you assess the chemistry between Caitlin and Melissa specifically? It looked like they were really good in transition. Could you just kind of assess how that's been growing since the beginning?
Yeah, I think they're figuring out, if they get out and run, she'll find you. And Liz had some really, she got out and ran off some misses, and I even think a make. And, she's going to find you. I think she had that one drop behind her back pass. Liz was ready for it. That's happened a few times, and we weren't ready. She was ready for it this time. But if you're a post player and you're playing with Caitlin Clark or any player, if you get out and run, she's going to find you. And that's just fun basketball.
I think I got 2 on Zoom. Alexa and George. Go ahead, guys.
Hi, Christie. Just was curious. I know you're probably still in game mode coming off of tonight, but when you think ahead to the Olympic break, what does the schedule, I guess, look like for you? All the priorities of making sure everyone, including I'm sure your staff and yourself, rest, but getting back in the gym and working on the things like defense that really matter to make that playoff push.
Yeah, we're gonna, this group of people, from players to staff, just needs a time to decompress, and we're gonna give them, several, over a week, just to get wherever you're going, to sit down, sleep, just kind of get back refocused. I think it starts there, and then once we get back, to just practice with no games. You have to figure out a way to keep it creative. You have to be very creative, find ways to get better in certain areas, implement new things, and then play some games. We'll have guys available, we'll have officials, but you have to keep, without games, it gets tough. It gets tough when you're in Indy, so we're going to practice hard, and we're going to give them some more time off and let them, do what they need to do to come back and keep getting ready to make that push, that second half.
Sorry, I didn't see Matt's hand up.
Thank you.
Matt, you want to go first, and then we'll finish with George?
Yeah, hi, Christie. Caitlin was saying that it can be frustrating to have, 4 wins against upper half teams and then 2 losses against lower half teams. I guess just kind of what's your stance on that as you head into the break, maybe not being able to capitalize on, the lower end of the table?
Yeah, we always try to focus on us, right? Like in those 2 games, we just weren't who we were in those other games against top teams. And it doesn't matter who you're playing night in or night out. Like, you've got to show up and play your game. And we, the Washington game, we didn't do that. The first 3 quarters tonight, first half, didn't do it. Came out in the third, had a really good quarter in the third, and then just couldn't finish in the fourth. But that's just growing, getting these experiences, and knowing you've got to play 40 minutes of basketball on both ends.
That was Christie Sides talking to reporters immediately after the game yesterday. Get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about what she had to say, because I'm going to leave my opinion up out of this, though. But like always, keep them bells on, because I'm going to bring you the news. And until next time, dog, shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out. Shake the haters.